That's the American flag on the
Hello, everyone. We just got finished with our pre-show to the show of the show and everything.
I really think we need a pre-show.
A pre-show. Yeah. We can only have so many.
Where we announce that we're about to do the pre-show.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for joining us today.
She doesn't say anything. She just flips it over.
I like to catch you guys off.
We're gonna say clock. I mean, what more do you need?
I'm like looking at comments and stuff, but she just like.
What do we need? A person standing behind the camera that does like 3, 2.
We're not that fancy yet.
And then they do the point,
kid do
but they don't say when.
Yeah, she goes 3, 2.
That's what we need.
Yeah, well, we're not that fancy yet. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Even University of Phoenix can do that.
All right, so basically, we have been super busy lately. Sorry for like the lack of contact this week because we've been building a studio in one of our rooms. We're almost finished with it, so hopefully we'll get to move in there soon.
And by we, those two.
I've been the one who's been putting all the IKEA together, moving around, but then she's been the one doing all the electronical setup.
Yeah.
She's the brains, and I'm just the muscle.
Just the muscle.
Just the muscle. You're just the pretty face. I mean, come on.
I try. Moisturize.
Every trio needs one.
Oh no, the audio's distorted. I changed it up today.
For real?
How's the audio so distorted? I'll lower it just a little. Let me know if it gets better, guys, okay?
How's this sound? Testing,
Hopefully that's a little better. Either that or we're running like super craziness with the computer. So yeah, we've been putting the studio together, which has taken up a lot of time and stuff, so I haven't been able to post as much stuff and everything. But hopefully that'll change soon. And I'm really hoping to get everything fixed. Is it sounding okay for you?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
All right. Okay. So
maybe we were peeking a little or something.
Maybe we were peeking a little.
We all have different mics too that aren't like right in our faces, so maybe like we're picking up. I don't know.
Well, let us know, if you have any other issues, and we'll go ahead and get back to it. Okay?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, and then make sure to. Yeah, I'm looking at the other comments. I did turn it down though, guys. Let me know if it's better. But we'll go ahead and move on. Let's see here. We got. Okay, fantastic. It was just because we were peeking. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Maybe we should just whisper ASMR style.
Ooh, well.
No?
No.
Hey, it's popular right now.
All right, so right now we have Exploration. This is by Ply. It's for 1 to 5 players. Lasts about 150 minutes. What were your guys' first impressions on this game? We've had quite a few space games come up lately, and this one was interesting with the board. I thought it was a little different.
Well, how so?
The board, I like that you had the different planets on there and that you could track around the solar system and stuff like that. And so we just did, what was it, Hyperspace last week, which I feel is like more combat ready and stuff like that. And this one here, I don't know, it's really interesting the way you have to plot your movement around and stuff, and I think it's more movement based.
It feels like it's more about moving and landing in the right spots and being in the right spots at the right time.
Right, absolutely.
That was the sense that I got.
What about you, DrGloryHogg?
I'm trying to still talk to people about the mics.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
But here's the thing about this one, guys. This, preview for this looks amazing. I love the colors in this. The board looks amazing. The cards look amazing. As I went to actually look up all the stuff on this game, I feel like there's limited information on this. Did you feel like there wasn't enough information on this game?
Kind of told you the different victory tracks, the different way, you can buy your way to the end, you can fight your way to the end. So it gave you that, but yeah, I did feel like I didn't have a really great overall sense of the game, like I sometimes get from other ones.
And I walked away feeling like, is this super generic? Just move and score. I don't know. I kind of agree that it looked generic, and I also just didn't. I didn't walk away going, oh, I get this, and I want this. I'm still hazy on exactly what I'm doing.
This is a real uphill climb for me personally, because just space isn't my thing. So, it's got to look really good.
Well, and it is sort of an overused theme. Even though I like sci-fi, movies and books and stuff, it is hard to stand out from the pack when you're generic sci-fi.
Yeah, because it is. It's just kind of open stuff. It's got to have, a really good hook. StarCraft had a really good hook. That's the only reason why I played it, because I was like, oh, this is a Blizzard, video game. I liked Warcraft. Maybe this will be good. And that one had a very good game, and it had a good storyline behind it.
Well, and the minis were cool looking.
Yeah, the minis look amazing. Everything looks on the outside of this very amazing. But then when you start getting into the details of this game, I feel like there's not enough information for the game. And then I was looking up, a place will go ahead and put, a Twitter, Instagram account, something like that. And I couldn't find a bunch of stuff for this. Like, I was like, huh. Like,
that reminds me, I think Daniel Zayas or something was talking in one of the groups about
backing people you know.
Backing people you know. And finding...
Shake and bake, baby.
But I think that's a good point, is like finding people who've plugged into the community who you feel like you can go to with questions and concerns and comments.
For example, we're talking about Pantry Games, but we're talking about next week. Like, they're on enough. Like, they're on my Instagram.
Them all over social media.
So, if I feel like there was an issue or question, I could just reach out directly. Where this, like, I don't know. I'm talking to somebody in Poland.
It's just a big question mark. You wonder. And the minis are cool, but that's an extra pledge level.
Right, because it's like $50 for standing, which I like.
Isn't bad. $50 feels reasonable, but then when it's the $80 for the minis, I start going, so this has some question marks, and I don't know who these people are, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing, and it's expensive. It's just enough to like kind of...
I know, Kabuki Kid can't hear us still.
I don't know. We're having crazy issues. Let me tell you about all the issues that we had today, guys.
Oh no, Kabuki Kid.
Yeah, sorry.
I wonder if it's different for different platforms or something.
No, I changed the setup to try to.
Okay.
My brother said it was peaking, but he thought it was coming from your mic specifically.
From my mic specifically peaking.
Yeah, I don't know what we can do about that. So we turn the whole thing down, and then I don't know.
Well, we'll have to figure it out. As long as you guys hear us.
Type out everything we just said today, and by we I mean Greg will do that.
Or just sign language.
I'm gonna go over to the mixer. Give me a second, guys.
Okay, let's
start scrolling.
I will still continue to talk about this.
I
did like that it has. What were we? I did like that it gave you the option of standee versus mini, so you kind of can get in at $50 or $80. Because $50, I'm more likely to take a risk on. Right.
Yeah.
But it just seemed, like you said, overall just a generic space thing. I didn't feel like this was a world.
Yeah. There's no X factor where I'm like, oh, this is Tremors, or this is some IP I'm excited about, or it's just space.
It's just space.
Yeah, because usually, like, the one we looked at last week, I think it was, the one that we were talking about, that was a big one that had all the different factions. They all played differently. I forget what it's called off the top of my head right now. We backed that one specifically because you felt like, oh, all these different people played differently. All the different races played differently. The creator was the guy that did a bunch of different games that I like and know, like Age of Empires and all these different things. And so, like, overall, you're like, oh, I feel like I can get into this one.
You feel safe, like it's a safe use of your money. I do think they have separate ability, like the ships are all function slightly differently, which was a plus for me, at least, when I was scrolling through this. I could be mistaken, but my recollection is that every ship was a little different.
The price for this game is set at $80. So
$50 for standee,
80 for the minis. Yeah.
Oh, and 80 for the minis.
Yeah.
I feel like you would get the minis if you did that. Yeah, but it's a lot to go on like
But I do like the minis that the ships look like a little more like realistic spaceships. You know what I mean? Like, I know that might sound silly, but it's not.
No, the spaceships are awesome. If this was on like any other game, I'd be like, oh, this is fantastic. But since it's not, like, I don't know.
So it's just not it's not a guaranteed hit for you. It's not like
it's not a guaranteed hit because I don't have enough information.
Yeah, it feels like you're rolling the dice with $80, which is a lot of money to roll the dice with.
I agree.
All right.
She's typing. We should watch her type, right?
What's the next one we're going to talk about?
All right. So next up we have Mechanica.
Mechanica.
It's Mechanica.
Do you have to say it with an Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Mechanica.
Here was my first impression. Visitor in Blackwood Grove. I like that game.
Did you?
It's an underrated little deduction game. Yeah, it was like a target game, and it's the same design team. It's also a female designer, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
And so right off the bat, I'm like, I'm interested because I played a game, like, once again, back who you know, right? Once again, here's a game I've played. I know it's good. So I'm instantly like a little more open to considering this one as
this one's an engine builder, which I've kind of just recently fallen in love with because of gizmos, where I'm like, oh, I need more engine builders. I don't have that many.
Tiling engine builder, which is cool.
Puzzle pieces, that you
That's what I was going to say. The tiles are not squares; they're hexes.
Let's talk about the two best things about this game, though.
Yeah.
One, it's murderous robot vacuums, which
I think they have our best interest in mind. I think they're
definitely going to murder us, but that's okay because I don't have to vacuum ever again, so worth it. Two, that it's just you play right out of the box. Like,
that's cool.
Right in front of my face. Now that I have free hands, I don't know what to do with them. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Is that like
Inappropriate, guys.
is that like a subliminal like wingspan plug?
That's every time wingspan. I get paid $5 by
Every time you do
time
it?
you do it?
Yeah.
You just do it over and over again.
Yeah, at night I'm just. But I like that it's just you play right out of the box, so it's not something you got to pull a bunch of pieces out. Like you look, they got their tableaus in front of them, and then all the pieces they're getting directly out of the box itself.
Well, in this cool market,
What is that? It spins when it drops a piece.
Yeah, so the market, the values, I guess, change, and then at some point, like that tile's no longer available, and it goes into the quote-unquote recycler.
Okay.
Which is all just part of the theme. I love that idea that like.
And then
As the market shifts,
vacuums.
the pieces disappear, which you've seen in games before, right? Where like a tableau slides down and you remove and you add new ones in. But with this one, they built it into the box itself. It's just a cool extra little something.
Greg, stop peeking. It's you now.
Oh no, is it me? Who said that? Oh, it's Robert. Robert, I'm sorry. Okay, maybe we should go back to
He's not
The
sorry.
whispering. The whispering.
It's this game whispering.
No, see that robot kind of looked devious right there.
Wait, what?
Like for
Second,
just a sec.
like,
I don't know what you're talking. Wait.
yeah, I'm just saying, that Roomba wants to kill. It wants to murder.
Aww.
So the only thing that this game doesn't have is it doesn't have a lot of just immediate box appeal, right? Like the theme is good, but the art.
Spinning.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right? But like you got to convince people to come look at your box for that. Like, hey, come check this out.
So you're saying like the cover?
Yeah, like the cover, and then like the tableaus don't really have like the kind of tongue-in-cheek look that I was thinking that it would have. Like the arts, which is usually not something I usually harp on, but art-wise, I was kind of surprised. It seems kind of plain for what it is.
I like that it's puzzle piece shaped tiles.
Oh,
I think
like
that alone gives it just a different look than other sort of tiling tab. Like for you guys, I don't think you played it yet, but I just played Carpe Diem again recently.
Yeah,
Generic. I love that game, but it's generic looking.
Right,
you know, it's just a square grid of tiles. Here they're doing something different with it. They're making a puzzle pieces. So if someone walks by, they go, "Oh, what the heck? What is this? You're building a puzzle?" No, it's a game with puzzle pieces. Oh, okay. Like, and then with the little spinning thing in the middle, I think once you open it, it's gonna have a table presence and appeal that it's gonna like
Right.
people are
I
gonna
think I
stop
just
and
wanted
look.
better
Yeah,
art
people are gonna
on my
come over
tableau.
and
Like
look at
the
it.
piece
It's
in
kind
front
of
of me.
cartoony, but I like it. Like the little really simple kind of minimalist.
I'm back.
Oh,
Ta-da!
right. It's so nice.
Okay.
He's like peeking, but you have a commanding. He like complimented me,
Right,
but
right.
also
You just
kind
have
of.
a commanding. You know, I tell him that all the time. I'm like, dude, I have to turn yours down just a bit more than everybody else's
Maybe I can move
because.
the microwave.
Oh, no,
There's-
you're fine.
You
You're
just
fine.
get like excited and talk louder, which she's trained me not to do. Because
Okay.
I did it, and I would,
Try not to
I would
do
drown
that,
out
so-
like the other 5 people on our when we used to just podcast, and
Yeah.
she'd get mad at me. And so she would turn mine down a lot, and so now I just don't
That's
do
what
it
you
Look
anymore.
at the cool little room of pieces.
Oh, I didn't even see those. Okay, that's pretty sweet.
So it's got cool pieces. It's got a design pedigree where like, okay, they've made things before. I've played their
It
life.
says thumbs up.
It's got a cool, unique theme. Not granted.
I like the engine building to it.
Right.
Yeah, where you got all the pieces and you're putting them directly on the board.
And there's
And, yeah,
sorry, go ahead,
you're building that literal engine in front of you for your little machines to go through and like get manipulated and then being sent off and like
Can we get an engine builder with an actual engine that like little smoke?
we'll
comes
talk
with it,
about
put a drop of
that next
gasoline?
week. We'll
like
talk about that
the
next
next
week.
forbidden one.
You gotta put like one drop of gasoline in it, and it's like.
No, Chocolate Factory is doing that where they have the little conveyor belt and you put
Ooh,
coal on
I
there
haven't looked at
because you
that one
have to like power your
Oh my
engine in
God.
order to move the conveyor belt. It's like
Okay.
it's very interesting.
I really want to.
We'll talk about that one next week,
You could
too.
put like an M&M in it or something, like right. So when you turn the crank, like a little M&M comes out.
I don't
Well-
think this is an insta back for me, but of the 4, spoiler alert, this is
This
the
is
one
just your
that captured
favorite.
my imagination the most because
can
of
see
all
that.
those things
Yeah.
that we've
Which we
laid out.
didn't even ask on the exploration. I mean, would you even back that game?
I'm not into it. No.
Yeah.
I think everybody has
Probably
a
because of that
class.
price point.
Yeah, I think
Maybe play before or buy, but I just.
definitely play before buy because that one was interesting, but I didn't have enough information.
I think
on
you'd
it.
have to do like a real like intensive deep dive search on it, and that would help if that was your style of game too, which just isn't for me personally. But I think you would have to really dig around and look at that one, get like some other reviews and stuff, because it didn't seem like there was a lot of information forthcoming. Like some of these other ones, it's almost like there's too much. Like I can't watch all these videos.
But
That one I was just kind of like,
if I gotta have one or the other, I'd much rather have a day's worth of videos to watch because at least it feels like they're not hiding anything.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But yeah, this one's the one that jumps out at me the most. I think
I think it looks cool.
and there are plenty of like robot apocalypse themed games, but I feel like this has a unique take on that theme.
Plus, I mean, so
Like,
it's
done in sort of a cutesy, fun way.
It hits our different demographics, right? So it's $40. You like that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
affordable.
It's 1 to 4 players, so you like that.
Right.
And it's an LOS.
And it's
That's everything you like.
Well, and it's a designer, you know,
That
it's
you
a design
like,
team
yeah.
who's done something before that I can say, okay, this is good.
Something we didn't discuss with explorations is actually not funded yet either.
No, it's not, and that's probably the reason.
Only one that's not funded.
And
on
that's always a red flag, right? Where you're like, maybe there's
What's
something
wrong
I'm
with
missing,
this?
but
I mean,
maybe there's other people
It's
who are
got
catching
19
that.
days left, but still, usually by the first 10 days, you usually fund. I would think. I mean, I'm not an expert in.
Well, 9 times out of 10,
funding,
everything we cover is funded by the time we talk about it.
Usually,
Yeah.
yeah, because we're
Yeah,
a
9 times
little
out of 10.
behind usually.
Yeah.
Well, right. We want to kind of tell people about it when it's kind of towards the end versus like the very first day.
Thanks so much for joining, Kabuki Kids. Sorry about the audio on YouTube. I don't know what's going on with that, but Facebook people seem to be doing okay. So, moving on. So, oh wait, would you back that?
This is the one I'm most interested in.
DrGloryHogg?
I'm thinking he's backing it, so I don't think I need to have it.
Yeah, no excuse.
But if he wasn't backing it, I think this is probably it's
That
this
would
one
be
or
one.
one other one. Yeah.
One other one.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between two. But if he backs it, then I don't have to worry about it.
I think this is an interesting game, but I feel like, although it's an engine building game,
Listen, it gives you money, and that's important to humans, it heard.
I feel like it may be more like directed at maybe like a gateway gamer or something.
Think so? I don't know.
think it's
Because
super
of like
heavy.
the design and like the way that they made the game and stuff.
Sometimes
It
those are the
looks like
most
it's
fun
more
games,
like
though.
that.
Well, like he
Well, I didn't
mentioned
say it would be
Gizmos.
fun, but I don't know. Well,
He mentioned Gizmos, which is arguably very simple to learn, but there's plenty of depth built in. This looks like it has that potential. Because every way that, you know, and I don't know, I haven't played it, but every way that you know, every time that you play, the different way that you arrange the puzzle pieces, you're going to have a different feel. So it could be one of those games that's fairly simple to learn, but has a fair amount of depth depending on kind of how the tiles come
I
out.
feel like I want to like do this now and be like, Roger. Yeah.
Roger,
Let's
we're
just
not
say-
backing that.
Let's just say
Roger that.
Greg's opinion is the most important.
Roger.
Yeah,
Over.
this, I feel like I want to like this like a whole lot because it has killer robot vacuums, which I love, and it has engine building, which I also love, but again, it's like just not another home run, and not necessarily because there's not enough information, but like maybe because, I don't know.
Missing that X factor for you?
Yeah, it really just is. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
hard to
I
say,
think,
right?
like I said, it's not an insta back for me, but of these four, it's the one that I was like, I think more and more what I look for in Kickstarter is something different, something innovative, not the same old dungeon crawler, the
Right.
same old
Right.
Euro
There has
game,
to
the
be
same old.
something
This feels like
catchy.
it has something a little different going for it. Just the
Yeah.
presentation, it feels well thought out. It's the one I'm most excited about.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, next up we have the Big Easy.
Yeah,
This is a
Shane.
Deadlands Nor card game by Last Line Games. This is for 2 to 4 players. Lasts about 40 to 60 minutes.
Perfect.
And like I love that Deadlands theme. Like it's like a Dalek.
Your sound is weird.
Back,
Like a
Back it. Back it.
Nice.
I don't know. I can think of something that rhymes with exterminate. It has to go with back it.
So I don't know if everybody knows.
Kickstarter. Kickstarter.
I don't know if everybody knows about Deadlands. Like, it's the weird Wild West, and it's basically like there's some magical sort of like crag or entity or whatever it is that came through the land and it's kind of like tainted everything. So there's like ghosts and like there's mutated people and there's like all this like magical sort of weird stuff happening. And it has like this really cool horror theme
It's
to it
kind
as
of almost
well.
like a Fallout type of thing where you got like almost like your mutants and you've got like
Right.
ghouls that are fine, that are still like alive and stuff, and the ones that are crazy and
Yeah.
Sounds
But
like
you
a
get-
Dixon family reunion.
but you get like werewolves and stuff too, like werewolves and then there's like there's like mystical otherworldly things to it, kind of almost like a Vampire the Masquerade.
Well, and I don't know much about like the Deadlands setting, but I like the noir. I like the like old-timey detective kind of theming. That's instantly that's instantly a selling point for me.
Well, and you know what?
She walked across the doorstep. I could see the summer breeze come in with her.
She was a redhead, but it didn't look natural.
I immediately
Just everything.
I immediately thought of the Dresden Files whenever I saw this. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, this is going to be
And there's been
amazing.
some other like kind of like detective with that type of stuff going on. Like even Grimm.
Like supernatural detectives.
Well, Grimm, that TV show was kind of like that too.
A little bit.
Because he was a police officer, and then like there's wild.
Yeah, there's wild crazy things
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Werewolves. Yeah, so exactly like Grimm, actually. You're welcome.
This is one though that I kind of want to try before I buy it, just because the card games.
I think we're buying it.
We're buying it.
Here's
you're in.
So Deadlands, which I'm a big fan of, it's a card game, so it's only $30. It's short, so worst case, and they're local. They're from Chandler, Arizona. So like, why not back them? We can back them, and then we can go over there and shake. If we don't like it, we can literally go to Chandler, which is like 15 minutes away, and just be like, this game was the worst.
With trench coats and fedoras and Tommy guns.
Yeah, see?
Well, here's the thing.
I want my money back.
This was another campaign where I was like, I need more information about this game and how it's played and what's going on with it.
They had a few playthrough videos and stuff, though. I mean, it didn't feel like they were, like, hiding the game.
It was... like
there's a rulebook PDF.
I was reading I was looking at some of the playthrough videos and stuff, and I don't know, they just didn't seem very, like, I don't know if it was detailed or something, or they didn't make me excited about the game.
Do you think it's going to play out like kind of like Arkham Horror does, the card game?
I think I would love if it played out like Arkham Horror, the card game.
That's what I'm kind of hoping, that it'll be something similar to that.
And it looks similar to that.
Yeah, but that's cooperative. This is more like a take that game. That was the turn off.
Yeah, because you're kind of trying to do it.
It's a race.
To get it.
It's almost
like everybody else.
Looking at the cards, it looks like there's ways to like play to slow you down.
Because I was envisioning something kind of almost more like Clue, where you're like, oh, I know it's the rope, but which room is it in?
Well, Stephanie and I really enjoyed last year Deadline by WizKids, which was a set of cooperative 1930s detective-style mysteries that you had to solve, kind of like Sherlock Holmes Light, Soldier Detective Light, and we really dug that. But this isn't that, and that's what I hoped when I first opened this and was looking through it.
You're like, ooh.
But this feels like the emphasis is more to take that and less mystery solving. Like, it's just the theming of a take that game is like, oh, you're a detective solving a mystery, but you're not actually like solving a mystery every time you play it. You know what I mean? Okay. You're just playing a take that game in like a detective.
I think the most important thing is that my dog is really digging the hands free because he gets pets the whole time. He's over here just like headbutting.
But I mean, I hope to be proven wrong. I'd like to try it and discover it's amazing.
I hope you're wrong too.
About a lot of things.
Almost everything.
Out of all of these, I'm gonna have to say this one is probably the one I'm most excited about because I really like the theme and I love detective games and I'm a big fan. Well, I'm a big fan of
I'm not like slam down. I'm not like slam down together like we must buy.
Right.
Like some of them, like Title Road or something.
Most likely one. Yeah, this is the one I'm most likely to purchase.
I want to look into it a little bit more before we go full on backing it, but I feel like this is the one that's going to be the most exciting out of all the ones we've got.
And it feels like there's a lot of games that are just, card games with a bunch of text that are just take daddy little quick fillers. I just don't know if this adds anything. I don't know. I don't know if that's an uphill battle genre for me anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, no, probably. And I don't know. Like you said, maybe if I try it, it'll bring me around. But on the surface,
I'm hoping that because Deadlands is from an RPG sort of publishing
thing,
that it'll be like really well written.
Yeah, because I was looking at it.
With stories and descriptions and stuff, because that's where the detective, a modern crime story kind of fell short. Was I got tired of hearing about him freaking drinking coffee with that dude, donuts and crap, and a salad, and like I just wanted to murder somebody over their meal.
If that guy ever complains about going into overtime again, but takes another 2-hour brunch, I'm gonna just murder him. Every time he's like, oh no, I'm in overtime. You lose points. Like, you took a 2-hour brunch.
Why did you eat so much salad?
You didn't eat for 2 hours. Like, who has that kind of time limit?
I'm really glad to hear you guys say that. This is all the same stuff me and Stephanie said when we reviewed that game, and everyone else was so over the moon about it. And I was like, I don't get it.
It's just too long for me. Like, if they cut the stories in half, I would be all about it still. But
off top, a tiny bit off top.
You're on topic.
Detective games.
Has he seen the show before?
Yeah.
Detective games. Well, I mean, this one, if you're going to say we're going to back it, I mean, I wouldn't be sad about backing it. It's $30.
It's affordable at least.
Yeah, it's an affordable game and stuff.
And it is funded. It seems like it's found an audience.
Your worst enemy still might be the big easies of the gumshoe, see? Yeah, there's no honor, see? Yeah.
If anything, it would be cute or something to play with some of our RPG friends that really enjoy that series. So.
Yeah, people not Greg.
Okay.
This is like a whole bunch of games that we usually don't talk about. Like these were really interesting games this week because next up we have Storming the Gap, which is I'm not even gonna play this. This is just a weird news thing. They don't actually have
actually
footage.
It's a clever video.
It's a clever video, but it doesn't tell you anything about the game. After watching this video, I immediately had to go to the.
Go and research
it does tell you that it's an alternate past where World War III is happening.
Right.
Like the Cold War didn't go so well.
It isn't already happening covertly.
Dun dun dun.
This is Storming the Gap: World at War by Lock and Load Publishing. It's for 1 to 4 players. It lasts about it can last from 30 to 150 minutes because of different scenarios.
I swear they mentioned no enemies here.
Yeah, they did.
But I didn't see his review or anything.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I was like, they mentioned it here in the video, but I didn't see a review.
Somebody is his buddy and gave him a shout out, but for some reason he didn't review it. I thought that was weird too.
Because I was actually looking for his review specifically because he's one of the few war gamers that is heavy into war gamers that I know. Besides our buddy Tim and stuff.
Right.
But Tim wouldn't have a copy of this at this point in time, so he can't really give me too much information other than what I could get myself. So I was really hoping that he had done it because I'm like, oh, he reviews these and plays these games all the time.
Right.
I don't play these types of games typically. I just never gotten into them.
Can I get on a soapbox for 1 minute?
Sure.
Yes.
Soapbox it.
Look at these components.
That's a typical war game.
I know, but
that is a typical war game.
Can someone tell wargamers that it's 2019? The game aesthetics have increased.
But I think that's why they usually are inexpensive. They give you so much content.
You mean like this one?
Yeah.
$70. Why am I spending $70 on little cardboard squares?
This is gonna have hours and hours of play, though.
But come on, wargamers. This is a real dead spot for me. I don't know this genre of games. I played Twilight Struggle and stuff like that, but I don't understand why the aesthetics have not been modernized.
I agree, because this usually turns out
this is not exciting to look at.
There's something like Song of Fire and Ice.
Now they're probably looking at us why do you need all these minis and stuff? Real gamers don't need that. Fine.
But a good example, Song of Fire and Ice with all the miniatures, including or not, piqued my interest because I was like, oh, cool, war game with characters I know.
If it was $20 or print and play or whatever, fine. It's $70 and I'm getting tiny little squares.
These tiny little squares, though, they have so much information on them. Okay, so if you're playing something like X-Wing, you have to have a bunch of information on the little plates as well as extra cards for those. And in a war game like this, you have so many different vehicles
the efficiency
and units.
of this design.
Well, you have so many vehicles and units. You could have 7 to 8 cards out in front of you with stats and then minis on the board, and that's going to be harder to play because when you're looking at the board, you're not getting a better visual representation. If I look at the board with these little pieces on it, and I look at your infantry combat versus my infantry combat, which might have different skills and stuff on them.
Different stats.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that just by looking at the board very quickly rather than having cards in front of you on them.
Okay,
but these cards are easier to see than tiny little cardboard.
Yeah, but you get so many of them out.
So in Attack Wing, though, for example, like you're saying,
the
extra depth comes from the cards. You could technically play without those cards. You could play with just the dragons or just the ships, and the ships have, here's my combat, here's my shield, here's my chance to roll away, all right directly on the miniature itself.
No, I think they're on the card.
No, it's on the miniature itself. That's literally right on the side of it.
We're going to have to go back and look at that.
It's red, green, it's red, green, blue, right on the side of it. Now, the cards give you stuff like stealth or, recharge shield. So this is giving you less. This is giving you less stuff than an attacking was. But you're right, it has the same style of gameplay where it's I roll dice versus you rolling dice.
Heroes of Normandy, they did it best with the little tokens like that because you had the art of the actual vehicles and infantry units on them as well as the stats. And I think that's what made a difference is that looks
but there's just
better visually. Yeah. Well, it just looked better visually in Heroes of Normandy, whereas this one is just, it has that older.
I could just reach up there and grab one of the Attack Wing things.
I just feel like, as someone who hasn't really dealt, this is like a blind spot in gaming for me, and I haven't really delved into war games. I don't think they're, and maybe they don't care, but I don't think they're doing themselves any favors by having this presentation in 2019.
Vincent's saying he's got a driver's license with a ton of info. You want it for $100? That's a pretty good deal because it gives you more information. Now, I think the big thing that we're all kind of hitting on is nobody here. You're probably the most likely to play this game.
Yeah.
I am not going to play a 2-hour game what is it? It says 30 to 150 depending on scenario. This is not a style of game I want to play. It's not visually appealing, and it's not a style of game I typically play. So it's just probably a big miss for me. And then, for Greg, the money doesn't make sense for it.
Well, I'm not going to jump into this genre of games
with a
$70 gamble.
So there's a lot of war games that I end up coming across that I look at and I'm like, no, this is like not something I can present to regular board gamers. And this is probably a better looking war game that's going to keep you more interactive that I can give to board gamers and go, hey, here's a war game you might like, because
what are you seeing that is aesthetically?
From this aesthetically opposed to other ones, it's more colorful. First off, you're going to be rolling dice against each other, so you're going to be getting more interactive with people and stuff.
Like where I roll and you roll versus defense, which is exactly how tackling works.
Yeah,
like, you roll the green dice, I roll the red dice.
It feels like Risk. It just feels antiquated to me.
Well, positioning and stuff like that, and terrain and everything, I'll add into that and stuff.
Yeah, but is all that all that terrain and everything, is that going to be on a separate card you have to have in front of you?
I'd rather play Memoir 44. I mean, that's way better looking.
All right, that's fair.
More affordable.
Yeah, I feel like
no luck of the dice. It feels old.
This one is definitely a game that if you were into this genre, definitely take a look at it.
So if you're into this genre, this is probably like a really sweet looking game.
And I love the theme.
And
the alternate history, World War III theme. That grabs me right away.
I like that one. Like, I like the idea of Shadows of Normandy, where it's like a dark, where there's like Cthulhu-esque type of. But that's just me. I don't like. But to be fair, I also am a veteran that served in 2 wars, so me playing tanks is not exciting. I actually got to hold it done.
So, okay, overall, if you guys were looking for a war game that would be incorporated into the board game family, what would you expect them to do? Like, to change it, to change it up.
For me, I want a theme that's. For me, I don't want a theme that's current day stuff because it's boring. I did that stuff. Tanks are not that exciting.
But
yeah, tanks aren't that exciting though. I want like swords and boards.
Like a medieval theme?
Yeah.
A medieval war game.
And I like minis. I am not an anti-mini person. I like minis. I like them. I think it makes you feel more invested in the game than just a square. When we play Ogre and my square gets killed, I'm like, but when we play Ogre and we've got even the cardboard standees that are all put together, and you start blowing pieces off my machine, I'm like, oh my god, I'm losing parts of my ship. Like, I'm losing parts of my actual tank.
Okay, that's a good way. That's a good way of putting that. Because when you play Ogre, and you have the little Ogre units coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, the cardboard standee ones that you can pull pieces off and you lose parts of it. Like, that was more exciting to me than just playing the standard Ogre, where it's just like, I move my chit over here.
But even with Ogre, the miniatures for that are an upgrade to the game.
You asked me what I would want.
Right. I'm just saying
that's bare minimum for me. I want my tanks to at least kind of do something.
Okay. Greg?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like richer board designs, like the Command and Colors games and stuff that look cool. They have like the big plastic pieces, or they have minis. I mean, even Memoir 44 is like 10, 15-year-old game with minis and stuff. And cool hex terrains and a bigger map. And
I think what Vincent's saying, and I might be wrong, I hope I'm not paraphrasing too much for Vincent, but he's saying he used to play these types of games because of the strategy and the historical.
Right.
For me, history is not that big. I mean, like, history's fine.
It's not a draw for you.
I'm not instantly drawn in because
of this isn't a real history anyway. This is fictional.
Right, it's fictional history.
You're not going to play it for that.
But modern board games have so much depth in them now that I don't feel like I have to play this style game to get depth. Right?
Yeah.
At one point in time in the 80s, like, this might be the only game you could play. It was either Monopoly or this.
Yeah.
Very huge disparity between the two.
I mean, I played a lot of games in the 80s that had little cardboard bits that you moved around.
And you're just done with that.
Yeah, why am I still... I mean, I played Elric and stuff like that. Like, why are we still making these games? I just feel like we have evolved.
I feel like they can do better.
Yeah, we've evolved, and I think,
steampunk.
and I want war games to become more mainstream. I almost want to like shake them, like make them prettier,
make them more mainstream.
Spend a little bit more money on illustration.
Yeah, bring people in by some
Vincent's idea, the army of jelly babies, where you just bite the heads off whenever they. So you take damage. Oh my gosh! Do that with kaiju. You do kaiju, so a bunch of these big monsters like King of Tokyo, and then you bite their arms off because they're made out of gummy, and you're like, oh, he lost his arm!
And the company, it's a great model because they have to sell you bits all the time.
Gummies.
Yeah.
You buy more gummies. Why am I slapping my hand so much? James Hudson made fun of me because I do this a lot.
That's right. That probably is registering on the mic, too. So
I know.
I'm sure it's registering on the mic.
Gotta sit on your hands.
Hands free.
You gotta sit on your hands.
I was happy holding my
dog. What's the
He
dog?
walked away.
Oh.
Like, he
Alright.
was under the table.
So I'm assuming.
I'm not going to delve into this genre for $70. It's too much of a gamble.
Dr. Gloryhoundd.
This is 100% play before I buy because it's not a game that I've never even really played games like this, so I can't give you a good opinion based off of a war gamer because it's not a genre I'm familiar with or used to or 100% really want to get into. But I'd be willing to play it.
And a lot of these war games are much more affordable. You see, you can get them.
Like some of those 18X games.
Yeah, they have like fold-out maps and stuff. They really if you're gonna cut corners on the design, make it affordable. And I'd rather delve into that genre.
Well, and see, like for me, like
For
I read like
$20
the chip theory one, which was like Cloudspire, where you're moving little chips around. Even that's better than just little cardboard.
Yeah.
Like moving plastic chips around and stacking them. Like that felt more.
But I do like the theme. I like the alternate history theme. I think that's cool. It's less educational, so that's down. Because a lot of these are.
Isn't that educational? Because it's.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's less educational because it is alternate history versus history.
Right.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, it's stuff for me.
Yeah, for this particular game, it sounds like they have a bunch of awesome scenarios going on. I really like the color that they've added to everything. It sounds like they've tried to make it very interactive.
This is around. That's a lot.
I know. I'm saying if you're interested in war games, this might be a home run for you because it's very interesting and they're doing really unusual things with it. Okay. So
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah. So if that's what you like, that would be interesting. And
like I said, I kind of like now. It's just not my genre.
I kind of like playing in a little bit more modern day, like set in the 80s and stuff, because well, it would be interesting having the helicopters and stuff like that coming in for everything. So I think that would be pretty interesting.
Helicopters are lame. That's why I repelled out of them every chance I got.
With war games, though, I mean, the war game genre, when you start to look into it, and I'm no expert, they have simulations and war games for almost any conflict that's ever happened, including like Desert Storm and like more modern. Yeah. So, I mean, there are other options that are, I think, more affordable.
Let's have some real talk. Helicopters are cool until you're the back of a shit hook and that thing just spits oil at you, and you're like, hey, this thing's throwing oil at me. We're flying over the Himalaya mountains, and they go like this. They go, if it's not spitting oil at you, they're like, then something's broken, and you're like, this doesn't seem right. I feel like something's broken here. So I'm just, helicopters are only excited.
That's an observation I feel like we all can relate to.
Definitely.
Well, this week's Kickstarters were like very mild. Yeah, there was a variety, but they were very mild.
None of them are big hype games.
No, none of them are big hype games. So
none of them are Ameritrash.
Next week though, we have some pretty decent ones coming up. We have the.
I'm still excited by the Mechanica and Big Easy.
Yeah.
I think Mechanica. If you get that one, I'll get Big Easy, and I think we're good.
Yeah, Mechanica is the one I'm the most interested in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Do it. We'll split it. Shake.
Well, next week we have Columbo. We have we're going to talk about Tiny Epic Tactics, which is really interesting too. Yeah, I got to see that game in person and stuff, and that one's so interesting. And we're going to talk about Consumption and Chocolate Factory.
I gotta look into this consumption thing. I keep seeing stuff about it. I'm so curious.
I'm so confused because
Beaver fat shaming the game.
No, Beaver straight up threw like raw salmon on top of hers for her video, and I
haven't seen that yet.
I was like, oh, don't do that. Like, I'm not a person that frets up a board game. I'm like, that's raw fish on your game. You're never playing that again. She's never playing it again. She must not like it.
Maybe she likes fish.
That particular game, I'm gonna, like, if you guys watch the Dice Tower stuff that I do, go watch the Dice Tower stuff for that particular game because, yeah, it's so ridiculous. It's like, why play this game about dieting and, like,
buying food and healthy food? And
stuff? Like, isn't that what you should be doing in real life? Like, I feel like it's Sims, the board game.
Is it fun to fret about your diet in a game? Like, I don't know, for me.
How many calories is this?
Oh, there calories in it too?
No, but but
Weight Watchers the game.
I'm
If you can't lose weight in real life, you can pretend you lose weight in the game.
There you go.
The only thing that I really liked about Consumption was the fact that you get 5 victory points for a dirty martini. So I was like, yeah. Finally, 15 victory points.
For next week, are we talking about it?
Yeah, it's on the list for next week.
So. I'll have an opinion next week.
Yeah, me too.
Look back in 7 days. Future Derek will have an opinion.
So other than that, I guess we will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for joining us today. Sorry about the sound issues.
Yeah, sorry for
Hopefully
any audio issue, guys.
I'm not sorry for any sound issues.
Hopefully
That's
they
your call.
clear up and stuff like that. Like I said, we had some issues setting up today and stuff, and I think YouTube is just being a little weird. We'll have to go back and listen to everything.
I feel you, Robert.
And-
I'm gonna support local though. I'm gonna go for the Chandler, Arizona guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Last Lion Games. Yeah, why not?
Jason says my walrus thankful and breathed easy this week.
That's right. Next week, though, there's some ones next
Save it
week
for
we're
next
definitely
week.
backing.
We're spending some money next week.
Yeah, next week. So I might just save up for this from this week and then back next week heavy. So we'll see. All right, guys. Anything else to add? Oh, where can we check you out at, Greg?
Oh, Hooked on Geek, new audio episode with my wife every Monday. Hooked on Geek. It's on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow us.
Yeah, if you check it out afternoon, I usually live tweet like 7 things at it. I'm like, I think it's time to listen to it.
I love your tweets.
I tweet like 7 times in a row. I'm like, oh, I heard this thing. I'm tweeting this.
DrGloryHogg, where can we catch you out at?
Anywhere that says at DrGloryHogg.
Oh.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace. I'm not on MySpace.
Tinder.
No, not anymore.
Lions, Magic Arena. If you see Dr. DrGloryHogg or just DrGloryHogg with 2 G's at the end, it's going to be me. Nobody else has that because I've killed them all. Hashtag don't be a lawyer.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we will talk to you guys later. See
Not
ya.
again.